Hello guys, it is your boy Prince of What Ifs, and I am back here with the final part of What If Asta Aokiji's powers, part 5, named Qliphoth. And the Qliphoth tree is essentially what is used to, revive devils. As I said, I am delving into that a little bit. See what I did there? And yeah, I'm gonna go through the entire manga and do my best with it. And also, I am set to be shipped off for boot camp at around November 3rd. So, keep that in mind. I'm gonna stop YouTube for a long time, and by long time I mean a long time. I already picked my job and everything, but yeah, I'm going to boot camp, guys. Yeah, Navy, let's go. All right, without any further ado, let's get into it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay up to date on all of my future videos. And let's get into the recap. We began with Asta going to the Grand Mana Zone of Frost, only to watch his mother die in his arms with Libe, and he went to Hodge and buried her as his siblings Orsi and Lily stayed by his side. He incurred trauma that followed him into the Royal Knights exam, and at first he had everything under control, and everyone else thought he was getting better, but then he exploded upon seeing Fernal almost get killed by Langris. This made him drop out of the competition, and due to some words from Gordon later on, he decided to not just give up, and he went to even save Julius with Yami, and he also went to the Gyarados belt. His newfound resolve gave him an increase in his spirit dive form, and he would also make sure to knock out everyone who transformed into an elf. And upon doing this, then he goes to the Gyarados belt, and then he brought Lip back to normal, and then he could say who the real enemy was. The enemy is then quickly killed by Asta. This is Zagrid, and the elves are taken away and or whisked away. They know the truth now. But Paltry, Raya, Fauna, and Veto stay in their new bodies. And for Paltry, it's more like he's trying to atone for everything he has done to the wrong race, even though humans do suck. I don't think that Zagrid did much, because those nobles definitely would have killed him anyway, but he still did it. So, Asta then later goes to the Heart Kingdom with Zora, Finral, and Mimosa, where after some complications, they make an alliance with the Heart Kingdom. Julius agrees on it, and 6 months then pass, and we open up on Lily finding Ralph of the Spade Kingdom on their doorstep at Hodge. We will go a few hours ahead and leave Hodge as we enter the meeting room of the Dark Triad. He just freed the Diamond Kingdom. Why the hell is Lucius telling us to hang back? Dante asked. I don't really care, Savanica. Can we just go after him now? He's gonna ruin my fun with Lolopetica. Yes, now we can attack. Don't underestimate that child. His very existence is a burden on our plan, said Zenon. We will now cut to the Heart Kingdom with Asta, Noel, Charmy, Fernal, Leopold, and Lux standing before Little Petrica. Well done, none of you. I wish you could have warned us before raiding the Diamond Kingdom, though, Asta, she said. Impatient idiot, Noel said. It all worked out in the end, said Libe. Yeah, what are you guys getting so worked up for, states Asta. Next time, I'll cover more territory than you, Asta. I promise, said Leopold. That's literally impossible, Libe says. Curses! You're right. Can we not try to match her achievements to Asta, because I drained all my magic today already, Fernal said. Walking off, Asta then said he had to go back to the Black Bull base. Also, I don't want to hear any of this. As he blasts off, we then cut to Hodge, where Yuno stands before Ralph lying in bed, and this is when he would say, "You're a member of the Grim Burial House, the heir of the throne, the Prince of Spade." Yuno's a prince, Orsi and Bell scream, as they would freak out, and Lily stays more calm, asking them to calm down as well, and Ralph then questions who Bell is, and she introduces herself as the Great Wind Spirit. I expected no less from your master, Yuno honestly, however, currently had a look of confusion. The news that he had just heard, it didn't break his world or anything, but it definitely twisted it. Being put in the category of commoner for so long, and everything that's happened, working up to the point that he has now, was it all a facade or really my hard work, he thought. Are you okay? Asked Lily. Clenching his fist, then asked why he as a prince was left at the orphanage, and clearing his throat, Ralph would then use his flame magic to have him relive everything, from his own point of view and also from Ralph's and some other people, and it was just a lot of information. The man who dropped you off, Ralph said, he was my father. My family served the royal family for years. Would stumble a bit back, trying to keep himself centered, and this is a fairly big deal, but then the magical device he has on goes off. Takes it out, asking what's wrong. Vice Captain, this is an emergency. The Golden Dawn headquarters is under attack. Upon hearing this, runs out of the house with Belle following him as he takes to the skies, thinking, No, wait, they're probably highly skilled. Damn it, says Ralph. He couldn't stop him in time. And as for Asta, while closing in on the Black Bull base, he senses a huge power that borrows the essence of devils, but both he and Libe are calm, almost too calm. Zooming up ahead, we then see Dante turn back while keeping the base afloat, with mirror rays then being shot by Gauche, while Henry uses a rocket punch by transforming their base to a giant bull. But all these attacks are just dropped by Dante's power to the floor, and of course his gravity. And Gauche would then say, okay guys, Asta's here, we can relax now. As Asta comes to a stop before Dante, the man would then turn to see him and his two grimoires, as well as Libe at his side, leaving him smiling. Let's find out what kind of human you are. Holding his hand out, he activates the Demon King's presence on him, which hits Asta and Libe, yet nothing happens, with the boy simply gleaming at him, as does Libe, and with a smirk he then enters Asta's body. Asta's body would explode with black lightning that cancels the effects of the gravity on the Black Bull base, and the formation would then catch itself and land. Dante then watches as Asta gains a red mantle, along with black armor and a full crown of red and black, with marks of what seemed like tears rolling down his face, and they were in black color, let's say. Saint Stage Spirit Dive, Obsidian. This was his final form, and with a smile, Dante swings up, bringing trees from below to pierce him, but they're all sliced up in an instant, leaving him confused as he instantly then goes 50%, with Asta then coming forward with a new blade, this being a katana. Come, he said. Don't tell me what to do, Dante says, as he blitzes Asta with punches and kicks enhanced by his gravity, but Asta blocks every single attack with his katana, almost looking bored and angering Dante, who is then sent flying by a hit to the stomach with the hilt. Asta then chases after him and appears right before him as he swings down, but space will then warp with his blade being pushed back, while a singularity will then form in a black sphere, singularity of gravity, and it's already hurled at him at incredible speed. However, staying calm, he breathes in and breathes out with an icy breath. The bullet hurled towards him impacts and blows through his stomach while cratering through mountains behind, leaving Dante laughing until he then sees Asta's body reforming. I don't just control ice. I am ice, Asta said. Asta would then form many clones in the form of Frost that would then turn into an exact copy of himself, with them all then pointing their blades forward. You're really making me sweat here, the man yells as he explodes and goes 80%, while all the clones then go and stab into him, but with a scream he blows them all away before then gathering a massive singularity and throwing it at Asta, who gets in a stance and once again breathes out calmly. Right here, right now. I'm gonna surpass my limits, you hear me? Surpass whatever you want, human, you'll still lose. Advanced spirit magic. Blind impact. Thrusting forward, Asta blows away the attack, leaving Dante's head nowhere to be found as it was blown off his body, and with more and more of these thrusts, as he approaches, Asta calmly destroys more of them while he starts to regenerate and counterattack, but every attack of his is completely deflected. I guess we can just lay back now, huh, Stefanessa? They should have brought way more people. With one more thrust, Asta would then leave Dante's body completely mangled and bloody as he wonders what the hell is going on right now, causing him to explode to 100%, gaining a ghastly and disgusting form. Asta's hockey magic, which I will now just simply refer to as spirit magic because that's pretty much what it is. Much like in the stages of hockey, it also allows him to turn his hockey invisible, an unseen force, and an unseen barrier that can protect his body. Other advanced forms of this have come from his observation in Conquerors, but that is the one that's like barely at the final stage, the Conquerors hockey. As for his sword skills, he's clearly learned them from Yami over the past months. Now as Dante grows inside, his smile will then return, though more twisted, and he cannot accept that he's losing to a child. This regeneration comes from my innate body magic. That combined with the devil host body means that I won't age, deteriorate, or die. What's that got to do with us? Asta asks. Bringing blades carved out from earth to his forearms, Dante moves at incredible speed like a berserker, and with every hit that he swings, destroys everything around. Asta can tell that he's becoming more and more dangerous. Let's end this quickly, Liebe, Asta thought. However, we will now cut to a worrying scene, that of Yami being pierced by and being hung over by the Golden Dawn members, while Von Johnson has suffered the same fate from Zenon, and lying on the ground and bleeding out along with his members. Yuno has Zenon's bone lodged in his chest, and he found it hard to even breathe, but he reaches forward even though there's barely any strength left in his body. Don't worry, you aren't weak. I'm just stronger, Zenon said. With these words, he leaves with a portal with Bell crying into Yuno's chest and not knowing what to do. Yuno's arm would drop as Ralph would then arrive on the scene via a magic broom. Yo, Master Yuno, wake up! Leaving behind the broom, he then runs over, comes closer, but cannot believe what he's seeing. His breath trembled, and he was sweating buckets. You can't. No. At that moment, however, vines and plants begin to sprout, surprising the spirit and Ralph, but Bell remembers this as Vanos' magic, which would then attach to his members. Yggdrasil would then rise as a giant tree, now stood in the middle of the base, and slowly, one by one, everyone rises being fully healed. The bone sword is then taken away from Yuno as he would sit up. We're fine? It's Sir Vanos' magic, said Algdor. He saved us. Is everyone okay? Yelled Yuno. And at this moment is when he actually spotted Siren, and he did not rise, neither did Herman. Half of them were actually far too gone. The anger combined with the confusion bottles up until Yuno explodes with screams of agony. Back at the Black Bulls, Dante is now completely exhausted of magic while Asta points his katana forward at his head, and while he also tries to catch his own breath because he's also, not freaking endless, he says, "You lose." Yes, he does, and that's why he's coming with me. Dante is then pierced by a bone, which would then pull him back towards Zenon and over Asta's head from behind to his portal, with Dante then cursing his brother, who says that he'll regenerate later. "Oh, and here," said Zenon. A battered Finral is then tossed out of the portal towards the shot Asta, who runs and catches him as he exits Spirit Dive, and the equally shot Black Bulls run forward. "Finral!" As they gather around him, Zenon would then say he fought well, with an anger Libe then releasing the King's Descent on him, messing with his magic and making him run off. "Fucking coward," he said. Finral at that moment, however, begins to move as he was acting he was an undead, only uttering, "Captain Yami, give him back. I promise to do better." With these words being heard, everyone looks forward to where the portal would have been. "Captain Yami?" Already, as you know, Megicula has also attacked the Heart Kingdom. It was a massacre that no amount of energy and power from Noel or anyone could beat. And that day, the Clover Kingdom had ultimately lost. They had lost their friends, they lost their family. But Asta had learned from his lesson months ago. He just had to get back Yami and Vengeance. It didn't matter how. He had to trust in himself. However, Noel and the others at the Spade Kingdom had not had any communication with the Clover Kingdom. They may just be dying out or already be dead, but the Black Bulls don't know yet. They haven't heard of it yet. And after much needed healing, a conference was called with Yuno and Asta attending, and the atmosphere was really kind of dreary in the room. "And that concludes everything I know. My opponent was a real blabbermouth," Asta said. Asta had just told him about the plan with the Qliphoth tree and everything he heard from Dante. Both captains and yet such pathetic men," said Charlotte. However, looking to Charlotte, Asta would then yell for her to shut up. "If you say another word, I swear I'll rip your tongue out, you bitch." "Asta, calm yourself down," said Fugolian. "No, I don't know why I try to put up with someone who constantly talks of belittling men and yet keeps looking at my captain." Charlotte never feels more angered by her own inability to say what she truly wanted to say. She respects Vengeance and she loves Yami, but she just can't say it. But Asta would calm herself, saying, "If you have nothing good to say, then don't. And we fought with everything we had. I promise," said Yuno. "Oh, really? You sure you didn't get a little bit freaked out and overestimate him?" said Jack. "What did I just say?" Asta yells. "Come here and say it again, shrimp." His conqueror spirit then begins to rise and swell up, leaving Jack sweating nervously. Julius would then yell that that's enough. "Sit down, Jack. I mean it." The annoyed captain then does so, with Julius then saying that this will get them nowhere. Yeah, and they're still gonna fight. A voice is heard as Asta's eyes trail off to the door of the room, with everyone then seeing a shadow rise, and Nock would then be at the end of the table now, saying, "I hate idiots who can't carry out a single meeting without even getting into a fight, but you can keep your mouth shut for a while, right?" Instantly, everyone gets ready for a fight, but Asta says to calm down, just as all the standing men find themselves grabbed by bizarre-looking creatures. "They're devils," everyone thinks. Two horns would now be atop Nock's head, with him then keeping the same demeanor, and Asta would say, "There's no ill intent." "Oh, yeah, of course there isn't. He belongs to the Black Bulls. He's your vice captain, Asta," Julius said. Wait, seriously?" As these creatures dissipate, Julius then explains that he's been investigating Spade for a long time. He's been on his own solo mission. This, of course, is surprising, but Jack feels that... Jack feels like he's seen this guy before. "Wait, aren't you? That man is gone," Nock says. "Can we continue the meeting?" As everyone sits down, he then explains everything. By now, Yami and Vengeance are definitely at the Space Castle, and they will be used as offerings to start the opening of the Qliphoth tree in 7 days. The levels and gates of the Qliphoth will gradually open, Nock says. There are, of course, 7. The deeper the levels, the stronger the devils, and the upper level devils are about the same strength as that of the Dark Triad. The lower ones are extremely powerful. In the instance that Lucifer is revived, that means that the world will end, and as a catalyst to the event, Yami and Vengeance will die as well. "So, until then, they're alive," said, and responding with a nod, Nock would then give them some hope, and they're still really impressed that he was at the center of such a dangerous place and just came back like nothing. "Alright then, we have 3 days until the gates get really dangerous," Julius said. "It's our turn to strike. With my magic, we can sneak in inside very easily and cause chaos," Nock would state. "Then, please, send me with you," said. "Seriously? After you lost so easily? I feel better just having the shrimp lead the charge," Jack said. "Actually, I have a question. One of your people opposing the Dark Triad came to the Clover Kingdom, right?" Nock asked. "He's at your home right now. Why?" "Someone came to Hajj?" Asta asked. With a nod, would then say, according to that man, he's the Prince of the Spade Kingdom, and this completely takes them by surprise, but Asta would just hug him, saying, "Dude, I knew it. I'm not exactly happy about this, "Well, I am. That means you're already technically a Wizard King." "It's only technically." "Well, if he's a rogue, then that explains his insane magic," Nozal thought. But what about him? All eyes shift to Asta, who notices and says, my mom was a commoner through and through, so nope, I already live in the boonies before becoming an orphan. Honestly, that makes no sense at all, Jack said. Oh, this is a completely good reason. I'm a genius. This answer is so Asta-like believes the captain's bitter and, tries to make a better case for himself, saying that the man who came to him knows the ins and outs of the castle much better than even Noct, and this would help them a lot. That guy might be a spy, Jack said. Heck, even you could be one. Seriously? Why would a spy try to stand out as much as I have, said. Jack can't really refute that one, but he just doesn't like anybody. That's why I don't like Jack. Fuck him. But yeah. If I'm not the one who saves Von Johnston, I won't let you, because you guys have been suspicious since the elf incident, says. I'm not, Asta said. Shut up. Sorry. Anyway, he hides it, but he's hurt, says That's why he fought so hard to heal us and protect us even when he was being captured. The Golden Dawn will be the one to get Captain Von Johnston back. We owe it to him. His emotions begin to swell and gather mana to an insane degree, and everyone can feel how serious he is. They're on board, and Jack is going to be Jack, but at this point, he's just trying to piss people off again, so fuck him. I really don't like Jack. He's just annoying. Oh, Asta was it, Noct would say? Maybe may have attacked the Heart Kingdom. What? And you're only telling me this now? What the hell? We will now cut to Noelle as she wakes up and is left panicked, but is pleasantly surprised to see Veto, Raya, Fauna, and Paltry. Namosa and Nero, aside from Charmy, Leopold, and Luck, wake up and they come to see a beautiful forest that they are now in. Where are we? Nero would ask. You're in Alicia, in a secluded sort of area deep within the Heart Kingdom, Paltry would say. The three can sense how much concentrated mana is just in the air alone, and it's overwhelming and just amazing. Noelle, however, will then spot two people that she's never seen before, and these would be two kids who would be hiding behind Paltry. When asked about them, Paltry would then say that they are the descendants of Licht and Tetia, his wife. And these kids would be one older brother and a little sister. And this leaves Nero completely shocked as she thinks back to how she can protect her mother. They really survive, Lady Tetia. They survive. Her eyes begin to water, and she's just really happy because as you know in the story, Tetia got really hurt while having the babies inside her, so she's just really excited, really happy. Why did you save us though? Mimosa asked. Why not? Said Raya. Also, we got a prediction from Dryad, the guardian of Alicia, but when we got there, the fight was already over, Paltry says. You did contain the explosion caused by that woman, so at least the citizens are alive, Ejo said. It's not enough. It's not, yells Noelle. We trained for 6 months. 6! And we couldn't protect her. We have to find a way to get stronger. Grabbing Paltry by the collar, she would then ask them to teach them since they're already stronger than they are. And what makes you think that you can get stronger with the time that you have left, Fauna asks. As she freezes, Noelle will then let go of him but says that staying weak is worse than not trying at all. Isn't that right? Everyone else wakes up with them cheering on in agreement, and their enthusiasm cannot be ignored. The elves decide to help them. Julius Mill will then contact the Heart Kingdom and let them in on their plans. Starts training, and bizarrely enough, Langris will be the one to help him. It makes sense considering wants to fight Xenon again, and he uses spatial magic along with his bone magic. And as for Asta, he keeps evolving his magic by himself. By far, Asta is the strongest person in the kingdom, so there's no way for anyone to realistically help him. But that's what he has Libe for. They're perfect partners. And yeah, they're gonna master advanced parts of hockey magic. While this goes on, at the Spade, we then find Xenon walking into an underground lab where Dante will be residing in a corner with his mangled body being reconstructed by Morris in this sort of container and tube. And the Shining Generals from the Diamond Kingdom are also present, and our old friend Lotus. I assume he's doing better, Morris, Xenon asks. I'll fix him, no problem, but those scars aren't going anywhere. Besides, after that traitor Mars got me kicked out of the Diamond Kingdom, said Morris, you guys gave me a new purpose. I'm more than grateful. I'm not gonna ruin you or anything. The once prideful Dante, wanting to challenge people and spice up his life, was now left pissed and vengeful as he could barely wait to get another crack at that brat. By the way, you're sure it's okay to keep that thing here, Lotus asks, as he points to a monitor onto which we see a two-horned demonic beast creature-like thing, and Morris says not to worry about it. On another monitor, we then see Yami and Von Johns kept in a ritual circle, trapped in their own little room in some stones, preparing them for the sacrifice. Oh, you want some extra strength too, Morris asks? That kid's gonna be causing havoc when he gets here. Asta, was it? If you have time, then yes, I would like to, Xenon said. 3 days then pass. Heading out at this point would be all the captains, including Seke, Ralph, Makusa, Sally, Rades, and Valtos. Gathering to a tower, they wear their new robes and wait for Noct. These camouflage robes, said Nozel. I heard that woman made them. Oh, don't worry, Sally might be a bit off, but she's very adept at magical engineering and items, said Makusa. Oh, for context, Makusa is the resident researcher in magic tools for the Chlor Kingdom. So yeah. Meanwhile, turning to Seke, a grinning Jack then says that he better be serious if he really wants to come with them, and he walks off as Seke is like shaking, and he thought, oh my god, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. From behind, he then felt a touch and got freaked out as Noct then made his entrance, saying, we both know you don't have many skills, so be sure to sacrifice yourself when needed. So mean, Seke thought. Stop being so harsh, Asta said. Just do your best, alright? At least don't die. With tears in his eyes, Seke would then nod, saying sure, and everyone made sure they're not missing anyone before then having Noct create a shadow corridor, which they then enter and begin their operation. Exiting on the other end of the portal, the team would then enter the Spade Castle directly and run up some stairs following after Noct, who leads the way. And Asta's eyes, however, flashed red, but then seeing the aura of a giant demon rising in the kingdom right now. That magic stuff will go on. Oh, don't worry, they'll be fine, said Asta. Your sister's here. We go outside to see Mereoleona punch away the demon as it goes for the members of the rebellion against the Dark Triad, thus gaining the attention of Morris and the Triad, as well as the citizens who have, of course, noticed that there's a giant demon trying to kill them. She punched the legendary ancient demon? Her magic is insane, said the rebels. From below, worried citizens feel a tingle in their hearts, and they're just kind of happy to be saved. The snow almost felt like it was getting literally melted just from her presence. Let's rumble, shall we? She said. The demon, of course, doesn't go down easy and goes for a swing with one of its forearms, but enveloping herself in flames, Mereoleona seemed to become the embodiment of mana itself. She flies at incredible speed, dodging the creature's arm and climbing up it, as she then gets a shot at its face, and she releases a violent torrent of fire at its jaw. As it falls back, it then punches from the side, but upon catching the fist, she then deflects it away before then blasting another attack and slamming it into the snow. Go back and sleep for a while, you hear? The scene was a really big one to behold. It was amazing, hard to describe it even for words. Meanwhile, for the others, Langris found Xenon, Real and Charlotte found Vanica, and Jack and Noct found Dante. How did you sneak in? Xenon asked. Instead of talking, however, the two just released flurry of attacks at him, but Langris's attacks are captured inside some space shield boxes or cubes, while Yuno's wind is blocked by a shield of bones before being blown away. Where's Asta? Xenon asked. You're seriously saying that bastard's name in front of me? Yells Langris as he releases a massive attack, which he then just throws forward, but something bizarre happens, with the attack dissipating into thin air before it even reaches the devil host. Xenon has now activated a spatial mana domination, which rendered all mana inside the room they were under his control. Just like your captain, you're quite foolish. Had you chosen to stay home, you wouldn't be at my mercy. Bones erupt from every corner of the room at that moment to attack, but Belle would then show herself, having evolved and blown them all away. If I don't beat your ass today, I'm going to be hearing from Liebe all day. That's not happening, she said. Combining with, she then gives him his Saint Stage Spirit Dive, and covered by a green robe of mana and wearing a full crown, Asta, will now have an axe, and as well as 2 full wings, and will just brandish this new power. In the blink of an eye, he appears before Xenon, who was shocked as shouldn't be able to use magic so well, and with the thrust, he finds that has left a hole in his torso. I'll be the Wizard King. I don't have time for you. He's not doing anything special. He's just extremely loved by mana, Xenon thought. Meanwhile, Charlotte unlocked the highest level of her magic, allowing her to now use red and blue roses using mana method. If you don't know what that is, search it up on wiki. And so she and Ro now have a fighting chance against Vanica. As for Dante, he was left shocked to see Jack develop a new form that let him literally he cut through gravity using his severing magic, which the gravity was holding him down. It was amazing. It's awesome in the manga. And being covered with blaze now, Jack leaps to him and swings down to his face. You don't get to look down on an insect just because you think you're special. I guess I underestimated him, now thought, as this is legitimately an awesome ability. He can cut through gravity. I hate Jack. I really don't like him, but that's still cool. As for Asta, he was getting nearer and nearer to where the captains were, and this is when vines of the Qliphoth tree then arise, and one of those dangerous vines almost go to pierce him, but he contorts his body to dodge for them running forward when he is then hit by a violent cold wave and looks forward to see 2 devils. Damn it, the first gate. Nama and Lilith, 2 high-ranking devils, upon seeing Asta completely fine with his body being frozen, would smile. This human's fun, said Lilith. Like your cute toy, Nama says, as they both fire off blasts of flame and ice, but creating an ice saber. Asta would then swing down, hitting an icicle and absorbing its temperature and magic before then spinning and releasing a violent burst that takes out the flame attacks and everything else. This completely sends the twin devils flying and leaves them at a loss for words, as when the mist clears from the elements clashing and colliding, Asta is gone from sight. Where is that human? I need to break every... Nama is then cleaved in half, as is his sister, with the 2 of them exploding with lightning as they die out, and Asta runs past them with a bored face. But the first level was not open, and this means that devils were actually released onto the streets of Space Kingdom, and high-ranking ones kind of mess with the process with their magic to just kind of make their way out. That's why Nama and Lilith were there. And the demon Merlina was actually fighting healed and got stronger due to this. The Dark Triads also got a power up because they were now closer to like the devilldom, I guess you could say. And the demon skull from Hodge returned to its like powerful form, and all the clover mages must band together. But in the end, Julius comes and takes care of it, though he did exhaust so much magic that he regressed to a child, leaving the citizens shocked upon seeing this. But he took care of the threat anyway, so I mean, you know, Wizard King, let's go. After this, the bulls then head out to Spade. Meanwhile, Rades, Valto, Sally, and Makusa do their best to defend the people of Spade, along with Fergolion. Oh, it's the fire spirit. We're saved. Fergolion would then say, please, run as fast as you. Before he can finish his words, the devils then make their way up to the sky and attack him, forcing his salamander to protect him and taking his attention away from the citizens, who were quickly attacked by the devils. Cowering from one of these creatures, a woman would then protect her child, ready to take the blow, when a blinding light is then shown. Slowly turning, she then turns to see a devil just be killed, the devil that was attacking her be killed, and those in the line of fire from this magic being blasted weren't even hurt by the attack, and as they all looked back, they found new mages had arrived. Thanks for the help, said Fergolion. The Black Bulls that were at the Heart Kingdom, Mimosa, and Leopold, after training with the elves, arrived with new forms and incredible power, as well as the Spirit Guardians and, of course, the elf themselves. Readying their magic, the mages would then raise the devils to the ground, and the mid-ranking devils come out to play, but are also beaten, with not much effort being put in. But Luck did bust out a new form, which looks amazing. Meanwhile, Asta is on his way to the captains, but is met by many high-ranking and mid-level devils, and they're just getting in his way as much as they can, but he just destroys them while holding back his power, since he doesn't want to waste magic. What is this human? He's just getting all of us. He can't be you. The devil who was about to say this is then flash frozen along with all the remaining devils in Asta's way, as he then walks past them and snaps his fingers, and they all shatter to pieces. He will then kick open a wall, allowing him to see the ritual space where Morris stands before Yami and Vengeance suspended in the stone. Turning around to face him, Morris now had a much more devilish form, with Asta saying, I'm gonna need you to step aside. Yeah, like I'm just gonna do that, said Morris. A mouth would then open up on his forehead, with it letting out the voice of Lucifer, who said, even if you could stop the tree, which you can't, this host is a better option than Dante. I'm now going down again. Asta is surprised by this, but feels Magna's spirit collide with Dante at that moment, and Dante went down, and a smile would then creep up on his face as he says, Libe, let's end this. His brother comes out, now having evolved as well, now wearing an admiral wear that Aokiji would have worn, but it's in red and white. And as he enters Asta's body this time, he gives him the same wear with the crown, but just more power. And in his hand appears a katana, but both Morris and Lucifero can feel something just wrong. It's just abnormal. Raising his katana to the sky, Asta then summons the power of the Conqueror into it, letting off a massive pressure that is felt by the devils, whether they be Megicula, who has manifested herself by this point, or any high-ranking devil, or anyone, just anyone around the premises. They all look to the castle. Morris then constructs some devil mutants using his magic and hurls them at Asta, who with a smile just swings down, saying, Advanced hockey. Real. Thanks, Captain Yami. Upon striking, Asta releases a golden aura that envelops the entire castle, spreading and just ripping through everything that is devil related, thus ripping Yami and Vengeance from their imprisonment, as the vines of the Qliphoth will then just shatter to nothing until a massive beam rips through the ceiling, and this makes you know who I just acquired his star magic jump back to avoid it. Seriously? All by herself? He thought, as he now saw a rising golden pillar of mana rising and reaching even to the skies and blowing away the clouds like it was nothing. Megicula, shaken by this, could not believe what is happening, and the gate would close, forcing her back into the body of Vanica, who is then attacked and destroyed by everyone's onslaught of attacks, while Gaja then catches a falling blow of Petrica, whose curse would fade away. The devil hosts are then relegated to their original power, while all over the devils are just shattered from inside by Rio, and now they have nothing holding them to earth, so they're gonna die anyway. They're not very strong anymore. The pillar of mana then slowly fades as people will be yelling, hey, look up there. As the citizens look up to the sky, they find Asta flying out, holding Morris by the neck, with him being beaten and bloody to a ridiculous degree. Oh, hi guys. As he waves, the mages are honestly just baffled, because clearly he just used that huge amount of mana, and Noel would then yell, why didn't you do that earlier? I don't know if it was gonna work, Asta said, as he then took to landing, but as he goes to say something, he's then tackled and hugged by Noel, making him drop Morris in surprise. Aren't we still fighting? Not really, Noel said. Is anyone gonna, okay, yeah, hug time, I guess. He hugs her back, as this is when she solidified her feelings of love for Asta, and she no longer denied them at all. No more tsundere shit. Letting him go, she then says that he's right and this isn't the time, and we will now go to Yami and Vengeance as they make their way through the castle, when from a corner run out their squad members, and this includes Ghosh, Vanessa, Gordon, and Henry, as well as See, this is a warm welcome, Asta, Yami would yell. As they're hugging their squad members or just happy to see them in general, Asta drops in from behind saying, "Sorry, I was making sure that everyone was okay." "Oh, now we both got two." With a smile, would then say, "Yeah, finally on equal ground." "Yeah, you can shut up now," Belle said. Coming from Asta, Libby would then tell her to shut up, and they get back to arguing like usual, leaving Asta and just laughing. However, everything begins to shake with an overwhelming amount of mana, starting to force everyone to the ground. Yes, the Qliphoth was gone, but using his last amount of magic, Lucifero used the bodies of multiple devils just to make his own form, to manifest. And while he began to manifest, the citizens and mages alike find it hard to move. They're just forced to the ground. "William, no," thought Valtteri. "He was still in the castle." The castle, which was now crushed from the gravity magic, wouldn't hurt anyone inside, however, as they all appear outside via new powers, new magic, and as the impact hits everyone, however, they create a spatial barrier, as Asta with a turn releases the Conqueror Spirit, growing a visible barrier bright blue, made of the Conqueror Spirit, of course, that interacts with Lucifer's gravity and kind of cancels it out and messes with it. From afar, sitting nearby will be the devil Andromeda, watching and thinking, "I just hope this works." In the blink of an eye, Lucifer would then appear before Asta and other mages as they can all feel the immense amount of power, but using his new move, Gordon then spreads marks across his face as he puts his hand on Henry. "Now I can choose who I steal magic from," Henry said, and the Devil King would feel his body being hindered and being stolen magic, but points forward when the tip of his finger is then cleaved off, leaving him shot right as he's then sent flying by Asta, who appears behind him with the release of icicles. You killed our mother," Libe and Asta yell, and as they scream, Lucifer is reminded of the two right as he then turns and activates his gravity, but it does nothing, but the icicles then piercing him anyway. Asta then appears right before Lucifer was swinging down as he enters Saint Stage mode. "We've waited for this for so long, you bastard." Cutting through space with Hockey, the angry brothers scream as Lucifer then defends himself against the attack, forming a dense orb of mana pulsing between the two opposing forces. "You human garbage, you should be glad I killed such a weakling. Now you're more fun." This increases Asta's rage, with everyone being in awe of what they saw, and while they still found it hard to even move, Asta and Libe were standing up to this monster somehow. "I don't think we can interfere in this," Fugalon said. "If he loses, we all will lose anyway," said Jack. "Andromeda, come help with this brat," yells Lucifero. "Nah, I'll pass," at the devil. "Want me to die or something?" Lucifero is then decked in the face by Asta, who then slams to the ground, saying, "Not very popular, huh?" He then gets enveloped by golden aura, spreading damage throughout his entire body as he spews blood that spatters onto Asta's face. And this is when Asta's eyes foresee something, with him then leaping back as the singularity then comes from the side out of nowhere. He dodged it? "What is this, human?" Lucifero thought. As he lands, Asta would then feel a rise in mana, and Lucifero's face becomes much more serious, saying, "Alright, I've acknowledged you, so I'll thoroughly destroy you with all my strength." "So will I. Did you think we just came here to let you do whatever you wanted all over again?" With a step, Asta releases a wave of ice which splits upon nearing Lucifero as it surrounds he and the king in a sphere before then exploding into a jagged winterland with an open ceiling, and this territory resembles that of the Grand Mana Zone of Frost, Nock would say. The winterland begins to freeze Lucifero from the legs up, but he blows it away and the ice around him, only for it to instantly just go back in place, right as he's then overshadowed, and he looks back to see 4 giant yetis. Ice magic, Mana Zone, Vegapunk! The Yetis then snarl and throw a punch with all their strength, with Lucifero then releasing his gravity, only to be crushed to the ground as he thought, "This magic, it's reinforced by the other one, but I'm going at full power, how?" "I'm gonna live, and you're gonna die, right here," Asta said. Leaving his body, Libya then said, "This is what you get." With his last screams, Lucifer was then frozen and shattered, and along with his heart, with Andromeda then getting worried until everything is just done, and the Yetis then roar, releasing a shockwave, as Asta would then point his blade towards Andromeda, and he just shatters the entire Mana Zone thing. Andromeda would then disappear to the skies at the speed of light, only to feel the pressure of the Conqueror Spirit, as Libya would then leave Asta's body. He already left Asta's body, my bad. And he throws the Demon Slayer through his chest, saying, "I hope we never see any of you bastards again." The two are left breathing heavily as magic would then just deactivate and they just fall to their knees, and the brothers would just scream to the sky with what can only be described as happiness and just complete relief, revenge. Also, devils. All the mages cheer along with this battle cry, and it had truly come to an end. A day passes, and in what remained of Spade, we see Yuno and Nock enter a home, as Yuno would then ask why he brought him here. When he then heard a voice, it was distinct and unmistakable, even though he had never truly remembered hearing it before. And looking forward, saw his mother with many members of the resistance and rebellions, and also defenders of the royal family. You've grown up so well, Seal said, and this would be his mother. As tears rolled down his face, you know them being overcome by emotions that his memories like only showed him once. He never thought he could feel this way about someone he had never met before, and yeah, it was just amazing. They would then run to each other and hug, as you know would say, "You haven't aged a day at all." Thank you. It runs in the family. As they laugh about this, Bell is also in tears considering everything that has happened. He didn't have to wonder about his place anymore. You know, didn't have to. He was a Golden Dawn member for sure, but it was most definitely the Prince of Spade. Now we're going to time skip a week. Asta walks into the Wizard King's throne room with the Black Bulls and some of his friends from the Golden Dawn being present, as well as his family, and walking forward, he met all the captains, as Libby would inform. We hereby declare that as of today, Asta, you have become a Magic Knight captain. Everyone claps with Asta then showing a wide smile. It's like, I'm leaving you, Captain. Don't say that, you idiot. Just visit, yells Magna. Yeah, you better, Noel says. With a laugh, Asta will then say that he will. And after this quick little ceremony, is being held, everyone drinks, eats, and Asta will then go out to the balcony to show his siblings, like, the kingdom and just say point at stuff and just play around. I wonder who's going to put in his squad, Klaus said. It's definitely going to be a powerful group. Hey, wasn't Sir Julius supposed to be here? Leopold asked. Fulon then walks up saying that he was told that he was coming and he was just running a bit late. Meanwhile, as Asta plays with his siblings, he notices Julius from afar and says, "Hey, get behind me." Getting in front of his family, Asta would then see Julius walk over with black hair now and an eerie smile as he be clapping. Is that the Wizard King? Nash asks. Isn't he blonde? Thank you so much for what you have done, Asta. I cannot thank you enough, Lucius said. As he claps one last time, he unleashes his grimoire and freezes everything into a red chronosphere that covers the entire castle, leaving only he and Asta moving at incredible speed himself. Lucius then goes to touch him, but upon doing so, he is knocked back by lightning. So this is how it feels to touch hockey, he said, as his hand was left twitching with red and black lightning. Looking back, meanwhile, Asta saw his siblings were completely fine and just be happy, before then looking back to Lucius, and he then walked over stretching. Alright, let's finish this up. We're confident, as it should be, of course, but he points forward, firing a singularity beam faster than even Asta can dodge, or so it should be. Weaving the attack, he then grabs it while filling his hand with hockey, leaving Lucius impressed. I guess we're on more even ground than I thought. Think again, bozo, Libe said, with Buffy and Asta then releasing the Conqueror Spirit, releasing a massive expanding purple sphere that shatters this entire giant time sphere and releasing a shockwave that is felt by everyone. Asta then slammed a punch filled with the Conqueror Spirit into the stomach, and a bizarre twist occurs as he pushes the soul of Lucius out of Julius's body, and Julius will then open his eyes and lose the black hair, going back to his blonde hair. Asta, what was... Before he can finish his words, Asta yanks him out of the way, and with a smile punches Lucius to oblivion, leaving the siblings in awe of what they just saw, even though they don't know what they just saw. Like I said, let's not meet again, Libe said. It goes for all you devils. Asta would then turn back and walk to his siblings, saying, "Pretty cool, right?" "It was awesome," Brecca said, "but is punching the Wizard King or whatever that was okay?" "Yeah, we were just playing a game. It's like hide and seek but with magic," Julius said. And everyone looks at them with suspicion. The kids look at them with suspicion, but eventually they just believe in them, and Asta would feel a chill run down the spine, and the captains then run out after having sensed the huge release of magic, but are left in the daze to simply see Julius shaking Asta back and forth and asking about this new magic he just used because he didn't hear about it yet, and Libe tries to pry him off. Yep, this is our Wizard King, they all thought. Behind that, the questionings, towards Asta, though, there was legitimate feelings of happiness from Julius, who earlier felt as though he was being ripped apart since Lucius was taking over. This is the thanks I get. Really? Damn it, Asta thought. Now we're going to have another time skip. We go to the kingdom of Hino, with the citizens walking around like usual. Their streets are filled with normalcy. A calm that's not found in the Clover Kingdom, which was filled with noble superiority, and so much more. But yeah, the kingdom had a little visitor. We see Asta walking around now, being much more like to his cheery counterpart in the manga, and he seemed to be looking for something. This is when he bumps into someone and turns to see that he has a keen resemblance to Yami. "Are you the Shogun?" he asks. "Oh yeah, that's me." "Asta, right?" Surprised Asta would then ask how he knows him. "Everyone's heard of you. Slayer of demons, devils, the captain of the Logia squad." And embarrassed now, 20-year-old Asta would then say it was nothing, and Ryudo would then ask why he came. "I was just exploring, but Captain Yami told me about this place. So that punk couldn't be bothered to visit, huh? Himself? At all?" Showing some bloodlust, he says that Yami is always like that, and Asta says that he'll bring him next time. And this will bring an end to the series. Sorry if you're expecting a big bang out, I'm just trying to show a much more happier version of Asta before this goes out. And this is going out. Alright, next series will be, you see it on the screen, I don't need to tell you. Pretty awesome thumbnail. All right, I know I'm amazing. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. Whatever your brain concocts as the finale, what happens to the characters, go ahead and do whatever you want, because this is where I'm ending this. All right, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace. I'm gone.
You can break my bones, break all the promises, but leave me alone. Don't break my heart. You should fucking stay with him. You should fucking stay with him.